I had a thing I want to talk about, and that is, what do you guys think is the number one thing stopping schools from banning phones? If you had to guess, yeah, you guys did guess it. It's parents. A bunch of schools, as we talked about in the January predictions, the data is becoming more and more clear that phones in schools is a guaranteed net negative. I have a study here that I do want to share with you on that subject, on that front. Results indicated that students whose smartphones were physically removed from class had higher levels of course comprehension, lower levels of anxiety, and higher levels of mindfulness than the control group. And this is one of many, many, many dozens of studies. They're less likely to fight, less likely to bully, less likely to be disruptive, fewer principal visits. The evidence is overwhelming. It just makes the learning process harder. But as the data has become more clear and schools have finally started to try and restrict or ban phones, they're running into a roadblock over and over, and it's parents. Parents who say, like, if you ask them and they think it won't actually happen, they go, yeah, I think we should ban phones. And then when you actually ban phones, they start complaining like crazy. It's NIMBY. It's NIMBYism. It's like, oh yeah, we want more affordable housing until it happens to their kid. So these are the main reasons that parents push back on phones being taken out of schools. The number one is that most parents are, and this is like, I guess, a real fear for America, but it's still not percentage-wise likely. They're convinced there's going to be a school shooting any day now, and if they don't have the phone, they can't contact their kid. That 79%. This is the biggest fear. Now, I think there's strong evidence, including in this article, that the kid having a phone is not like a help in the emergency. If anything, there's evidence that it's hurting. Like it may, the phone going off or buzzing has been shown to be a danger when you're trying to, it doesn't help in the emergency, but they just want, I don't know, they just want it so bad. It's a real emotional decision. And then 71% is just like parents are constantly texting their kids during the day about bullshit. Some of it's about like, hey, I'm going to pick you up at this time or whatever. But like, it turns out they're doing it all the time. Parents and kids text during the day. And then parents just like that level of, they get anxiety without it. So it's an interesting roadblock. I don't know how best to solve it, but solve it we must, because the data is so clear, especially in classrooms. So what some schools are trying to do is come up with an agreed upon rule where the kids can't use it in class. They have to put it, find a way to lock it up and only use it for in between, in your locker or whatever, or at lunch. But, tracking that and enforcing that is such a pain in the ass for the teachers. They kind of want a total ban, at least during school hours. So it's a back and forth, but it's an interesting struggle. I didn't think it would be so much pushback from parents, but there is. One thing schools have done is like this, like these kind of like phone cubbies with your name on it, where your shit just has to be in here during class. That seems like a decent start, at least, that seems like at least a beginning. I get the vibe these are not going to work that well. And like disruptive kids will just ignore it and then be like, oh, I'm sorry, after they get caught, and then put it back. And also, there's a lot of this evidence, again, back to the study, but like if the phone is near you, if you have like the idea that the dopamine is within reach, or that there could be a notification that you're missing, you're still distracted. You're still not focused. You're still not. So you really want it to be like away, put away, out of sight, out of mind. But I guess this is something. And then another one is like this. So this is called Yonder, and they're like sealed, locked phone bags, I think electronically locked. So you have to put the phone in it, but you carry it on you, and like you can't open it until the teacher allows it. I don't know if anyone's seen these or tried these, but apparently there's a lot of video on TikTok of people breaking these. Like ripping into them. Like I saw a study, some students have tried to rip into the pouches. People get so fiend addicted to it, they gotta tear and rip it. But apparently there's been some success. Like students are now having actual conversations in hallways and at lunch. I do think like it feels over-engineered. Like it costs a school district like 400 grand to get these for all their students, like a normal sized school. And it's like, clearly this is somebody's over-engineered idea they can just sell to a school district and make fat stacks. So it does feel very overcharged. But I wonder if anybody has experience with it. I don't know if anybody's young enough to have experienced any type of phone bans at schools or how it worked out or what they saw, but I do think it's pretty interesting. This line is pretty good from it, where there's a disconnect with parents where they but they sound very supportive of cell phone policies and want their kids to learn, but they also want access to their kids at all times, which is just not feasible. And I don't know why they need it. Maybe it's just higher anxiety among parents, but having constant access to your kid is that helicopter type parenting doesn't seem very helpful. There's been a massive push for phone bans at my school by the students. Well, what's wild is like one benefit to the students that's not even about learning, but the studies were over and over again. I think people make fun of the idea of cyberbullying, but students report massive drops in bullying without phones. Like apparently phones are like the single greatest bullying vehicle ever invented. Like you can just get bullied so at scale. We're almost putting bullies out of jobs. Good old fashioned bullies. Lots of schools in Turkey banned phones. Mine did as well. We had a cupboard in every classroom we put our phones into and we were locked until the school ends. That sounds like appropriate to me. Maybe I'm boomer. I don't want to hear other takes, but I feel like you put that shit in there and then at the end of school, you get it out. Win-win. What's the kids can bring a dummy phone? Yeah, I mean, obviously they could break the rule, but you put a dummy phone in there and then you use the real phone and get caught. And then, they put a little marker or something on your, now you're you 3-time offender, whatever, you're banned, whatever. They kill you, they execute you. You get caught playing Temple Run 3 times and you're dead, sent to the mines. If I was a student, I wouldn't want to have to rely on my teacher having their phone, having it charged to call 911 if there's a shooting or emergency. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just this trade-off. I wonder where the line is of how much people are willing to sacrifice the purpose of a school, which is learning, to edge case protect for school shooting. I mean, imagine having that much distrust in adults and you rely on kids to have phones though. I can see parents' fear about it and wanting that extra percent maybe, but I think the damage being done is far higher from people literally just being unable to focus at school, plus the bullying. I think that's setting up for more lifelong damage, being one of 100 people to text 911. Parents will deadass take the kid's side. Well, that was in there too, which is like, there's a lot of parents, again, this article goes into like a lot of kind of hypocrisy from parents, where like parents in the aggregate always say they want the best learning stuff until their school bans it. And then the parents are like protesting or saying, well, my kid needs access. My kid's different. And if they ever get caught, it's always like, well, we have a very unique situation for us where like, I need to be able to get in touch with them to plan our schedule or whatever. And it's like, everybody's got their reason, I'm sure, but it's everyone's getting hurt. Well, there's one way we could adapt though. I think one interesting thing to do would be, and this is going to sound crazy, but hear me out. What if there was an hour a day phone period? I'm not kidding. What if, how long is a school day? 6 hours, 8 hours? You should get a phone break. That's just lunch. No, you should get lunch and a phone break. You should get lunch and a phone break, dude. Low key. It should be recess for kids, phone break if you're over 13. That's what I think. STEM hour, dude. And then also another 30 minutes to vape. As a non-American, it's crazy you guys are worried about school shootings. I mean, it's crazy we have them. It's not crazy we're worried about them because they're real and they happen. Like a parent seeing a school shooting every 2 months is not crazy for worrying about it. What's the Joker quote? If society's sick, you're not sick for being crazy or whatever. Some Sigma shit, dude. Why doesn't Batman just stop all the school shootings? It's a great question. I was taught by movies that we would have a real life superhero by now. Ideally a billionaire. I was kind of hoping Elon Musk would go school to school and stop the shootings. School laptop should have a similar effect. I watch Twitch on it all day. Yeah, I do get the vibe. There's these schools that announce like these big, we're going to help become digitally native and we're going to spend $8.2 million education budget on like laptops for every kid in class. And in my head, I'm thinking like, bro, you probably just reduced your test scores. The kids are going to not a single person's gonna learn, dude. You probably just spent a bunch of money to get worse outcomes. But I don't know. I remember like, do they still have keyboard classes? Do you still have typing classes? Or do you guys all hunt and peck? I had keyboard class and all we did was play cool math games the whole time. It was a semester of cool math games. Shit was fire. That shit was absolute gas. It was one of the most fun class. I still remember it. It's now been like 15 years. It's been a long time. And I still remember it I was so excited every day to go to that class. We just play game. We would play the impossible game. Remember that game? The world's hardest game. This game, dude. Dude, this game was just gas. I'm the GOAT. That's not, my hand was cramped on the edge. Anyway, the music was fire. I'll tell you that. Did your typing class have covers or just scramble the keyboard keys? No, they didn't do either of those. What the fuck? No, I didn't really have any assignments at all. It was like you'd have a printout or something and you have to type that in Microsoft Word. And then at the end of class, she would just check if you had it there. There wasn't even like a timer. I mean, she was just checked out. It was this old lady. There was no point. You just type in a Microsoft Word thing. You could do it at your own pace anytime and you just play games. But I did learn. I mean, I don't know how I learned, but I learned how to type just because you want to, I guess. So you can get to gaming quicker. Bro, in 7th grade, we didn't have access to the computer lab. My teacher printed us all sheets of paper with keyboards on them. You're fucking with me. You guys learned typing on a piece of paper with a keyboard printed on it? That's a fucking boomer shit. Bro, that's crazy. That is actually low-key broke. You can get a cheap keyboard for nothing. And also, that's not even gonna help you, really, because without the tactile, you're not gonna actually learn. Sorry, did anyone else have anything they want to say about the schools banning phones? I think there were some good messages, but I missed them. Homeschool everyone? That's not gonna work. At my school at the start, it was strict, but now no one but the principal cares about phones being banned. Yeah, again, the part of it of being half banned, I think this is the problem. If you make it a ritual where it's banned for the full day, locked up, then it's kind of easy for everyone to enforce. But if you make it half banned where it's like something's not, then it becomes they have to constantly be enforcing it, which teachers get worn down and tired of doing. And so it ends up not happening. So you kind of have to like know half measures on it, I think. Just keep a payphone at the front of the classroom. Or what if the teacher records the full lecture at night before school starts and then chops it up into 15-second TikToks? And then during the day, when you're in class, you can just scroll through the lecture at your own pace. And the teacher's not even in the room. And you do it in your bedroom.